Hello, drama lovers. Welcome back to K-pop world. Imagine a quiet evening in London. The summer breeze gently brushes through the old city streets, where elegant buildings rise in silence. The dim lights reflect silhouettes of a life that never truly sleeps. But that night, something felt different. The city held its breath, though no one knew why just yet. And then, without warning, two familiar figures walked into the frame. Wang Yibo Xiao Zhan, names that have long resonated in the hearts of fans, were suddenly the center of a quiet storm in a city that had no idea it would fall so quickly under their spell. This wasn't a concert. This wasn't a drama premiere. This was something entirely unexpected, a fashion event in the heart of London, private, elite, and filled with people who, until that moment, believed they had seen everything. No red carpet, no shouting press, no official announcement. Just one moment, one silent appearance, and the room was never the same. Wang Yibo, ever calm and unreadable, stepped in wearing a classic black suit. Nothing flashy, nothing screaming for attention. But somehow, he became the gravity of the room. By his side, Xiao Zhan moved with a gentleness that struck harder than words. His smile was faint, his gaze sharp, and every step he took felt like a moving painting. No one expected them, but no one could look away. And then the whispers began. Days later, rumors spilled from the corners of the internet. What started as speculation turned into a wave of theories and excitement. Word spread that two of the most prestigious modeling agencies in the UK had reached out to their management, not just for a casual collaboration, but for something deeper, something serious. London, a city long revered as the epicenter of high fashion, suddenly had its eyes fixed on two faces that weren't on their radar before, but now couldn't be unseen. Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan didn't just walk into a fashion event. They entered a new conversation. Their visuals weren't just striking. They told a story, a presence, a gap the fashion world didn't know it had until they saw them fill it. It didn't take long before social media exploded. Fans immediately recognized them from grainy amateur videos. There was no confirmation, but it didn't matter. The internet lit up with pride, tears, edits, and dreams. Edits of them on Vogue covers, fan art of London photo shoots, even imagined billboard campaigns in Times Square. But amid the noise, some fans fell silent. Not because they weren't excited, but because they understood. They knew what this could mean. If those agencies were serious, this wasn't just about a photo shoot. This could mean a new stage, a new direction, perhaps even a farewell to the world they had known. What deepened the speculation was what came next. A few London-based fans reported seeing Yibo and Zhan leaving a well-known independent film studio. It wasn't covered in the news, but that didn't stop the theories. Some suggested an upcoming East-West film collaboration. Others believed they might be in talks to become the next luxury brand ambassadors. Whatever the case, one thing was clear. They weren't in London for vacation. Something was happening, slowly, silently, but undeniably. In an old interview, Xiao Zhan once said, "I don't plan my life too far ahead, but when something comes to me, I'll welcome it carefully." That line now echoes in the hearts of fans, because maybe, just maybe, something has arrived. Something too big to ignore. Wang Yibo, too, has always chosen his steps with care. Behind his steady exterior is someone who doesn't chase trends, but never backs down from a challenge. So if he's standing there now, in a black suit in the middle of London's quiet summer, it means he's ready. And when two figures like that stand side by side on a new stage, the world has no choice but to watch. For fans who once only dreamed, the line between imagination and reality is beginning to blur. Some began looking back, piecing together moments that may have hinted at this all along. Deleted photos, stylists' vague posts, brief mentions from managers, clues they hadn't seen until now. Yet still, no official word, no confirmation, no denial. They stayed silent, letting the world guess. And somehow, that silence spoke louder than anything. Meanwhile, fashion insiders began to take notice. Opinion pieces in major fashion magazines described Yibo and Zhan as visual icons from the East, bringing balance to a world of repetitive beauty. One European creative director even called them a new hope for redefining global aesthetics. But for fans, this is more than a career move. It feels like a shift, an evolution, a journey that's bringing two men from familiar stages into a world that feels both thrilling and terrifying. Terrifying, not because they aren't ready, but because fans aren't sure if they are. What if they truly go global? What if this is the start of something that takes them further and further away? What if they don't come back? But maybe, as they've always shown, change doesn't mean loss. It means growth. And if we truly love them, we grow with them. Watch, support, hope, even from afar. Now, the world waits. Not with loud noise, but with a quiet intensity that wraps around every passing day. Waiting for answers, waiting for clarity, but also secretly hoping that this is the beginning of something far greater than anyone imagined. So what's really happening? We still don't know. Maybe they'll debut as international models. Maybe they'll act in an East-West collaborative film. Or maybe they're simply enjoying time in a city that mirrors their quiet elegance. But one thing is certain, the world has seen them now, and nothing will ever be the same. Drama lovers, what do you think? Is this the first step toward a global career? Or just a calm before a much bigger storm? Share your thoughts in the comments. And as always, stay tuned for more updates, only here on K-Pop World, because this journey has only just begun.